In this video we're going to cover proper map reading as well as a few tips on JTACing. So that's calling in casts on an enemy target. So map reading. With AGM we've been given this fantastic new map tools item that gives us this. The default armor thing, this compass right here, is pretty shit. I don't really use that ever now that we have map tools. First off, let's say you don't know where you are. Currently I'm at this big old hill right here with the dome behind me. Let's say you don't know. The key to figuring out your position without a GPS, because obviously it's pretty easy when you have the exact grid number, is to look for landmarks. So say I didn't know where I was. Say I was like in this rocky area over to the southeast. I had just come from the west. I know the area of operation is somewhere within like say a 3-click radius in here, and I spot the radar domes there, and on a pretty fucking high hill for this map. So I'll look, what's the highest point in this area? Well, it's here, and then there's also another high point right here and here. So I'm going to check each of these out. It looks like it's got one building and some rocks. This has more than one building, it looks like. We got a log pile there too, so it's not there. We'll check out the other spot, which is right over here. This one doesn't even have buildings. It has a village to the south. To my south, it's like a bunch of trees and rocks to me. And finally we can check this part right here. We see those the H barriers that were up. We see the multiple buildings here. And to the south there's some rocks. So we have a pretty good idea that this is where we are. From here we're going to look for our target. So generally a JTAC is going to be attached to the command team or the recon team. And they're going to be spotting targets and then getting the go-ahead from command to designate those targets for cast to strike, and then actually designating them. So in this case, let's say we've spotted, I used Zeus to spawn some infantry in a vehicle over there. So we're going to say we reconned the area pretty thoroughly, we spotted these guys, and now we're going to call a gun run on them, or in this case a bomb run. So first you want to figure out where that is on the map. So now that we've figured out where we are, we know A, the bearing it is from us, so it's 232. You see there the azimuth in the top left is 232 degrees. We have the range, which is the middle there, that's 2,188 approximately meters. And the elevation is irrelevant for calling in a gun run. But that can be something that's important when you're using missiles, or rather mortars, or if you're spotting for a marksman or a sniper or something. So, since we know that it's 232 from our bearing and about 2,200 meters, we can use our map tools to figure out where exactly it is. So we are, where did we say we were? We are right here. So we'll place the map tools on our position. Now if I hold Control and then click, I can angle it whichever way I want. So 232 is right there. And then each mark here is that's a kilometer. So from our position, 1, 2, 3, right there. It's going by that. We can say that they are at this point right here. So I would mark this on the map, and it's important to get the proper markings down. So what we saw there was, in fact, let's go ahead and take another look at it. We saw an enemy rebel fire team patrol, an enemy Socher, and an enemy CSAT regular patrol, also a fire team. So we're going to go ahead and mark those. Now, with the Alive marking system, you have multiple types of mark that dictate, or rather indicate, what type of enemy presence is there. So there's infantry, mechanized, armor, artillery. In this case, I would put down an artillery marker, enemy Socher, and I'd put down an infantry marker and just write 2x fire team patrol. Or if I felt that the fact that one was a CSAT regular and one was a rebel infantry patrol made a pretty big difference in what I was calling, then I would split those two into separate markers and indicate that. So now that we have the location of the target, we can begin our radio transmission to the CAS. So let's say CAS Extraordinaire Mittens is the one doing our flying today. I would radio him with his call sign. Mittens, this is Command JTAC, requesting fire mission on grid 065845. You can see the grid there just by hovering my mouse over. It will tell me the grid, or I can do it manually by reading the map itself. You start with the x-axis, so left to right, and the y-axis, which is up and down. So 065845 GBU strike on enemy Socher and infantry position. Now, if at any time during this transmission you need to pause to sort of prep yourself for what you're about to say, because when you're on comms you want to be clear and concise. You don't want to be taking up radio time by saying or just, you know, putting bullshit out there. So if any time you need to pause to think about what you're going to say next, just say break. That way the person on the other end is ready to receive further transmissions from you. But if there's some important comm that is not being passed because you're on the radio, they have a chance to come in with a break and then put in what they're saying. Plus, you know, fuck hot micers. So at this point, I said requesting GBU strike on grid 065845. I've told them what the target is, and now I can tell them the approach that I would recommend. So I'm going to recommend a northeast to southwest approach right here. That'll get an open field for them to acquire the target in instead of coming through the woods here. And then I will say target will be lased by laser designator. So there's two types of laze. There's the IR laser pointer, which is turned on. You can only see it with night vision, but it's generally used at night, obviously. So if it's a nighttime op, you can laze it with that, and that'll give the CAS bird a clearer picture of where it is without having to use their HUD to look for a laser designator target. And then you can use the laser designator. Now the laser designator is what you use to guide in GBUs. Those are the laser guided bombs. So I would acquire the target here. In this case it is the Socher, is what I want them to bomb, and then hopefully that'll get some collateral on the infantry as they patrol by. As soon as I acquire the target, I'm going to click my fire button, default left mouse, and you'll see in the top middle rightish there a laser popped up. So now I want to keep this on my target until the plane comes in. If they're a decent cast, they'll tell you when bomb's away. They'll say pickle or something. And then you just wait, keep your laser on target, and eventually it'll hit. Once the bomb hits, you want to give them a BDA. That stands for Battle Damage Assessment. So at this point, I have a clear sight of what happened there. If the bomb hit, I will say on target. If it destroyed the target, I'll say something like target destroyed, or catastrophic BDA, something like that, just to let the pilot know that their run was good and that they do not need to do another one. So now they can return to their holding pattern or whatever their next task is. If the bomb was on target but it did not destroy the target, I would say good effect on target, target not destroyed, and then I would either have them come in on for another run, or I would just leave it be for, you know, if the command says don't use any more bombs or whatever. There's numerous types of runs you can call in. So for example, if there was an air contact, say we got ousted, my recon team here, and they sent in an enemy catchman and it's coming from the northwest there, I would call in an immediate fire mission on the enemy catchman northwest of our position, which is grid 082858. Closing in on us fast from the northwest, headed southeast. We'll say that it's coming in like this to do a strafe on us. That way, say the holding pattern for the cast plane was up here, it can interdict that catchman and hopefully shoot it down before we have any problems. So just your job as a JTAC is to clearly let the cast plane or whatever you're JTACing for, it could be a helicopter, it could be even an artillery strike. You have to let them know exactly what they're looking for, and you have to make it as easy as possible for them to acquire and destroy their target. Hopefully this helped you out, and will make you a better map reader, and in turn a better squad leader, JTAC, or whatever else requires a map, which is everything. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in Ops.